He is the captain, the consummate professional who sets an example for others to follow. The unquestioned voice in the clubhouse, responsible for offering wise counsel, doling out tough love, and providing comfort in times of need. He is the entertainer, playing with an endless love for the game, never taking himself too seriously, dodging contact with his head, unable to control his legs, always ready to clown around with teammates or engage in friendly conversation with rivals. He is a legend, universally respected around the major leagues, a jaw-dropping defender at the hot corner. Kneeling to crush 400-foot homers. Steadily slugging his way toward Cooperstown. The captain of the Rangers, the entertainer of the fans, a legend of the game. Adrián Beltré personifies all that is great about our national pastime. And tonight, Adrián Beltré is back.
Well, in baseball, there is stuff called good news, and then there is the news that Adrián Beltré is back and healthy and ready to go. We're ready for game 2 of this series with the Tigers. What better sight than number 29 coming out of the dugout in a Rangers uniform. Welcome in, everybody. I feel like Santa Claus today. I'm Dave Raymond alongside Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve. Great news. Beltré is back, and Tom, it really means a lot for this team.
Means a lot for the team. No rehab assignment. He knows how to get ready for a big league game. Before he got hurt, in 17 games, he's hitting .360, so the Rangers obviously miss him on the field. His teammates, though, they've been around him. They've enjoyed his presence, his leadership from the clubhouse, in the dugout. The people that are going to be happy today, who I feel good for, are the fans who come out here, watch him take his place at third base, and have a smile on their face.
Yeah, and watch all the fun that he has out on the field. And, you know, from the Rangers' standpoint, look, he was down for 12 games. The young guys went 6-6 in his stead, and there were a number of guys who really stepped up.
Yeah, yesterday especially was a great game for the kids. The Rangers won 7-6. In the second inning, one of the kids, Nomar Mazara, to right field for a home run, made it 1-0. Rangers down 5-1 in the sixth when Joey Gallo hit a laser beam for a double, knocked in a run to make it 5-2. Same inning. Then in scoring position, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa doubles down the left field line. That made it 5-4. In the seventh, the Rangers are down 6-5 when Delano DeShields scores from first base on a base hit by Shin-Soo Choo. That tied it at 6. And then a little bit later in the inning, Jurickson Profar lines a shot in the gap in right center field for a triple. That proved to be the game-winning run. So we just showed 5 of the kids who performed yesterday. A back-and-forth game, 7-6 win. That was a lot of fun to watch.
The kids have been a blast, but it is still about pitching. Mike Minor has the ball for the Rangers. Mike Fiers goes for Detroit. We'll put him in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is sponsored by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Base hit. Mazzara's in. Here comes Gallo. It's a two-run double for Kiner Falefa. There's a ground ball right side of the infield. They're going to wave him to the plate. Here comes a throw. Cut off! The Shields ties it. And he shoots it over second. That's a base hit. Headed toward the alley. Profar heading to third. And the Rangers have taken the lead. That was a fun one tonight. Yeah, it was a fun one last night. We're hoping for more of the same this evening. Game 2 of this 3-game series with the Detroit Tigers. Great to have you along with us. We mentioned at the break still about starting pitching as we go to our Shiner Box Spotlight tonight. And the two starters, the two mics, if you will, fires for Detroit. And he has struggled against the Rangers in his career. In fact, last year with that great Houston team, he was borderline awful. Mike Minor, meanwhile, has been very good, especially here at home this year for the Rangers. So feeling very good about the way the pitching lines up tonight for the Rangers. All right, as we're just about set to go, we mentioned Adrián Beltré is back, and we're all excited about that, including Emily Jones.
Yeah, great to see 29 run out of the dugout and on to third base, taking his place back in this Rangers lineup in that cleanup spot. Talked to Adrián before the game tonight, asked him how he was feeling. He flashed a big smile and he said, better now. Talked to Jeff Bannister about any limitations that might be on Adrián. He did not feel that was the case. Of course, Adrián has a very long leash when it comes to these types of things. They trust him that he will listen to his body and inform them accordingly.
Yes, well, we hope that will be the case and that he is fully ready to go. He sure looks like it. And listen, he's done it in the past. He's come back quickly from injuries before, and he certainly knows how to manage things for himself. So great to have him back. Let's take a look at the starting lineup tonight for the Detroit Tigers. 3 games back of Cleveland at the Central. Jacoby Jones leading it off in center field. Jeimer Candelario at third base. Nicholas Castellanos in right. Then it's Victor Martinez, John Hicks, and the catcher James McCann in the middle. Nico Goodrum, Jose Iglesias, and Dixon Machado at second base rounds it out. Well, Minor set to go. His 7th start of the year. 3 wins, 1 loss, and a 4.36 ERA. And his first pitch right in there for strike 1. Well, it's another beautiful evening here in Arlington, although windy. Windier certainly than it has been here lately. And this ball lifted high in the air out to center field, playable for the Shields eventually. One away.
Let's take a look at the pitch arsenal from Mike Minor. He throws his fastball less than half the time, about 42%. A lot of sliders, 26%. Nice changeup at almost 20% and a curveball. So the 4 traditional pitches, and he mixes them up and utilizes them effectively. Pretty good fastball, 91, 93, occasionally a little bit higher. If you're a hitter, you certainly have to be aware of the velocity, and then a nice assortment of off-speed pitches.
Well, starts Candelario off with strike 1, and the next pitch again. Hit out towards center. Long run to Shields. He looks up, and that one is into the bullpen. Candelario's 5th home run of the year. And Detroit strikes first tonight, 1-0.
Yeah, I think the first observation one might make this early in the game is it looks like the ball's carrying pretty well. Even the fly ball that Jacoby Jones hit went all the way to the warning track. This is a changeup that stays up in the zone. It's on the outside corner of the plate. Candelario has to reach for it a little bit. Shows some pretty nice power. Delano playing over in right center field. Gives chase to it, but watches it clear the fence.
Boy, Castellanos swinging at the first pitch. What a great stop by Profar, but no chance to finish the play. And Castellanos with an infield hit. That would have been some kind of spectacular effort right there.
Yeah, and that's too bad he couldn't get a handle on it, because the hardest part was making the play, the diving play. He got it so quickly because the ball was hit so hard that if he could have gotten a grip on it, he had a chance to make a spectacular play. Castellanos runs okay, but Jurickson had that ball in time. If he made a strong, accurate throw, had a chance to get him at first. That would have been fun to watch.
So Castellanos is on, and here is the DH, Victor Martinez, and he'll take it in. I'll say this about Mike Minor so far. He is throwing strikes. It's only 6 pitches into the game, and he's dealing with the 4th hitter. 1-0. And that'll even things up on Martinez. Switch hitter. Very much the veteran presence in this lineup right now for Detroit, as their future Hall of Famer is on the disabled list. Miguel Cabrera with a right hamstring issue at the moment. That certainly makes Victor Martinez the senior member out there. And he hits this ball hard down the left field line. If it stays fair, that's a lot of trouble, and that one is gone. A 2-run homer for Martinez, his 3rd of the season. And boy, before we settle in, it's already 3-0 Detroit.
Well, all 4 batters have hit the ball well. Jacoby Jones got underneath his ball a little bit when he flied out to center field, but he hit it right on the barrel of the bat. And Candelario and Martinez had both homered, and the ball Castellanos hit to shortstop was a well-hit ground ball. Ball up inside part of the plate, and Victor Martinez has done that before. 2,064 hits in his career, 1,140 RBIs now.
So the base is empty now for John Hicks, right-handed hitting first baseman tonight, really kind of the backup catcher on this team, and he pops this one up, backup second base. That one drifting out there a little ways. Kiner Falefa gets to it for out number 2.
Let's take a look at the Ranger defense, which is delivered by Methodist Health System. Joey Gallo, Delano DeShields, Nomar Mazara again form the outfield for the Rangers. And the infield, Adrian's back. He'll play 3rd. Jurickson Profar, Isaiah Kiner Falefa up the middle. Ronald Guzman is at first base. Carlos Perez gets the start behind the plate.
All right, so with 2 away now, here is James McCann. Catcher off to a nice start this year for the Tigers, and he takes strike 1. McCann hitting .275. And coming off a really pretty good year last year at the plate. 3 home runs so far this year, and that one is inside 1-1. Well, you might be able to hear that wind. Picked up on a couple of our mics here tonight. 17 miles per hour. So he's coming in from right field, if you're to believe the flags up on top of the ballpark. That doesn't necessarily tell you how it's playing inside the ballpark, as it gets in here and jet streams are formed. It swirls around a little bit. 1-2, and this ball hit out to left field. Gallo a couple steps back, and he'll make the play to end the inning. But the Tigers off to a pretty fast start against Mike Minor. A couple of home runs, and they lead it 3-0. at the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Rangers starting lineup. 14 wins, 23 losses. Delano DeShields leading it off. Shin-Soo Choo the DH. Nomar Mazar in right, Beltré at third, Joey Gallo in left field. Then it's Profar at short, Kiner Falefa playing second base, Ronald Guzman at first, and Carlos Perez does the catching and bats ninth today for Texas. So Delano set to start things off. He'll get a good look here at Mike Fiers. His 6th start of the year. Fiers 2 wins, 2 losses. His earned run average comes in at an even 5 runs per game. His first offering to DeShields finds the strike zone. Well, Delano just below 300 now for the season. Takes outside, 1-1. Look out. Little tapper foul. Ball and 2 strikes. So Tom, on windy days like today as a hitter, any difference for you? Did it feel different as a hitter? I mean,
well, it depends. If the wind is at your back, blowing out toward the outfield, it gave you a great deal of confidence. When it was blowing hard right in your face, not so much.
1-2 pitch. And strike 3 called. So DeShields down looking.
Take a look at the pitch arsenal from Mike Fiers. Fastball about half the time, has a good changeup, throws a cutter and a curveball. Not overpowering with his fastball. For Mike Fiers to be successful, he has to have pinpoint command of his pitches and throw them where he wants to. His first start of the year, he did that. 6 innings, 3 hits, and no runs. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Rope into right field.
Choo with a real nice swing. So the Rangers have their first base runner of the night.
Since that first start, though, he struggled in his last 4 starts. His ERA is about 6.5 in his last 4 starts. So we'll see what kind of stuff he has, what kind of location he has. If his location is off, then the Ranger hitters should get some pretty good pitches to hit.
Well, the Rangers have a base runner, and now Nomar Mazara, who was 2 for 3 with a home run yesterday. And he takes off the plate for ball 1. In fact, Nomar now 5 home runs in May. That's just 7 games played. Well, no, and that's a good one. Nomar 3 home runs on this homestand. He's driven in 7. And he can get hot sometimes. Right now seems to be at the front of a pretty good little stretch. 11-game span right now where he's hitting .318 with some of the power we're talking about. Fiers working from the stretch now. And the right-hander's pitch up and away. There was a day where Fiers was really one of the better strikeout pitchers in the game. 2011 to 2015, he was top 10 in strikeouts per 9 innings. You know, he was right in that group of Yu Darvish and Strasburg, Sales, Scherzer, Kershaw. 2-1 pitch, and this one down the left side, high in the air and headed foul. Not the same guy these days, at least in terms of strikeouts. And I mentioned up at the top, the Rangers have had some success against him. Last year made 3 starts against the Rangers. He went 0-2, and his earned run average was 12.21.
I think, Dave, when he had those strikeouts, he probably threw a little bit harder than he does now, which doesn't give him the same margin for error when he makes a bad pitch. So he has to depend on command.
Yeah, he bounces into the force out at first, and then they throw down to second to get Chu, and that's a quick in to the top brother, bottom of the first. 3-0 Tigers. Drew Robinson slid over and took over in center field. Then after a couple of weeks, Rougned Odor with a hamstring injury. Profar came off the bench and stepped into an everyday role at second. But Elvis Andrus hit on the elbow by a pitch, broke his elbow. Profar moved over, kind of for left in. And 2 days after that, Guzman called up so that they could move Gallo into left field. Oh, but that's okay. The Shields, 11 days later, back and healthy again. Took a little pressure off Robinson, except Beltré got hurt. He pulled a hamstring, kind of for left at the third. and moved Robinson back into second base. Robinson yesterday got hurt, went to the DL. Nunez took over at third, and now today, finally, there you go.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
A lot of stuff going on in this first 5 weeks of the season. And the Rangers have, navigated it as best they can. 14 wins, 23 losses. You have to believe that, losing 80 games to your, 4 of your studs in your opening day lineup is going to have an effect. Goodrum shoots this one foul out of play. Nico Goodrum, switch hitting left fielder, and you see what he has done this year in just over 20 games. Minor gets him to roll one on the ground to short, and that one is through, so a base hit.
Goodrum was way out in front of the first changeup and missed it. That time he waited on it long enough to ground it into left field. Third and short. See the last 3 fingers holding the ball, which allows him to get the differential in speeds. And we've seen it a couple of times today now with the changeup. They've stayed up above the knees, almost belt high, and out over the plate. And a couple of them have been hit pretty hard. I think for the most part, a left-hand pitcher to a right-hand hitter is trying to throw that changeup on the outside part of the plate, make it sink a little bit, and be either right on the corner or a little bit outside.
Minor takes a look at Goodrum. The 1-0 pitch, though, is down. 2-0 to Jose Iglesias. Tigers shortstop had a couple of hits yesterday. Outside, snap throw down to first, and Goodrum back in there. Goodrum will run. He has 4 stolen bases this year, and Carlos Perez behind the plate today for the Rangers. And he likes to throw out runners. He brought in for his defense, largely.
Well, if there's anyone in the world that can give a tip to a catcher on how to pull that pickoff play at first off, it's Pudge. Pudge is down watching the game right now. He's doing the pre and post game show. No one, I can feel pretty comfortable saying that, even though I haven't seen every catcher that ever played, but I can't imagine anyone could get the ball to first base quicker than he did.
Fly ball out to right field. Mazara going back. He looks up, and that one is gone. First home run of the year for Jose Iglesias, and it's worth 2. Detroit leads it 5-0.
Coming into the game, the Tigers had hit 27 home runs. Only the Miami Marlins in Major League Baseball had hit fewer home runs than that. And already in this game, they've hit 3. Pitch at 91 miles an hour. Up. Outside corner. Iglesias. His first home run goes the opposite direction and hits it to right field for a home run.
Well, I don't know that it has a thing to do with what we're seeing tonight as Machado steps in. But Mike Minor, much has been made about the fact that this start was going to have to come on what we call regular rest, 4 days of rest for a starting pitcher. Rangers right now with a 5-man rotation. Did not have an off day between Minor's last start and today, and so for the first time this year he is afforded just the 4 days. They had been able to give him extended rest in every one of his other starts. And Machado lines that to center field. It's 3 straight hits to start this second inning.
Yeah, I think so far in the game, one time through the lineup, it's been a command issue, not being able to get the ball where he wants it. I think that ball ideally wanted it maybe 6 inches more outside, kind of cut back toward the middle of the plate, and Machado hit the ball hard.
So a man on, nobody out, and Jacoby Jones takes high. Machado's only attempted 1 steal so far this year. Fly ball out to right field. Mazara on the run, reaches up, makes a nice catch. Machado will have to head back to first base. So Jones retired on a fly ball to right field. He hit one well to center field in the first, but he's 0 for 2.
Yeah, off the bat, it looked like this might slice right into the corner, but Nomar had him played right, got a decent jump, and ran it down right before it could hit the ground and rattle around in the corner out there. So nice play by Nomar. Mike's able to record that first out.
So now Candelario, and he'll turn it foul. Candelario homered in the first inning. Well, this is a Detroit team that has started the year 14-20. 3 back of Cleveland in the American League Central Division. Ground ball, shortstop. Profar will go to second for 1. Kiner Falefa, all kinds of time to turn it. And there's your double play, 6-4-3, and the inning is done. We've played 1.5. Detroit with the big lead, but Adrián Beltré will lead it off when we come back. him back out there today in uniform. Beltré, when he got hurt, you can see was swinging the bat pretty well. 310 average, OPS over 800. And Fiers will take a moment here.
He got off to a little bit of a slow start, but last 17 games he was hitting over 360.
Didn't need a rehab assignment.
No, he's amazing in that regard. At age 39, he knows exactly what he has to do to get ready to play in a big league game. For him, it's a waste of time to go on a rehab assignment. Big curveball. Came down a little bit, but never curved toward the plate.
2-1 pitch. And that one is outside. 3-1 to Beltré.
The other thing that Adrian does so well the last 3 or 4 years is when he's had injuries, a lot of them have been soft tissue leg injuries, knows how to manage them when he's playing. He comes back quicker than most players would be able to come back, but he knows when he can put a little bit extra out there as far as running goes and when to hold back. He manages those injuries very well.
I'll fly out to right field is the way he starts his first night back, one away, and it brings up Joey Gallo.
Feeling a tape measure shot for Joey tonight. Not necessarily this at bat, but one where we can't wait to get the distance from Statcast.
You see they put the big shift on against him. Not unusual. And he hits his ball hard, but on the ground. Iglesias on the wrong side of the bag, but takes care of Gallo. And there are 2 away. So good start for Fiers. Got a ground ball double play in the first. It's another ground ball here. And with the bases empty, it'll be up to Jurickson Profar to see if he can get something started.
Jurickson had a great at bat in the 7th inning in yesterday's ball game. The score was tied 6-6. And he took an off-speed pitch in the outside part of the plate, maybe a little bit outside, waited on it and drove it over second base, past Castellanos in right field all the way to the wall for a triple. That proved to be the game-winning run.
He takes strike 1. Well, he really has been a lot of fun. Look at this. 4 game-winning RBIs this year. Jed Lowry leads the league with 6. Then Bregman, Haniger, and Gary Sanchez of the Yankees with 5. But Profar, when it has mattered most, he has found a way to deliver. And he just, I think you said it when you were describing his at bat in the 7th inning, just a really good at bat. I mean, he's given some really good ones.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. I'm not sure what the number's up to. 10 or 11 at bats already this year where he's seen 8 or more pitches. The other thing is he's kind of turned around the problem he had as far as his batting average goes against left-handed pitchers, batting right-handed, to where now he's in the top 10 against left-handed pitchers this year. Really turned that number around.
He chases one in the dirt, strikes out 2 in the 2nd, and Mike Fiers off to a really nice start so far tonight, and his club leads 5-0. to 100%. All right, 2 innings in the books. And Castellanos up there hacking at the first pitch. And the Tigers have been aggressive early in this one. They lead 5-0.
That ball hit the upper deck, came down, bounced high in the air 3 times. 3 people missed it, and it finally skipped out of that level down to the lower level.
A night of what could have been for so many fans.
There's about 3 or 4 of them that are shaking their head that they missed that ball.
Five runs, 6 hits so far tonight for Detroit. And Castellanos seemed to have swung at that one. That is strike 3. And he kind of walks away in shock. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I think he went.
I say, oh, yeah.
Like a no-doubter.
Oh, that's obvious.
Wasn't quite a no-doubt swing, but
I think he went.
With that angle, I think he went.
So first strikeout tonight for Minor. Now Victor Martinez, and he takes strike 1. Martinez, somewhat of a no-doubt home run that he hit in the first inning, a 2-run blast. He is our TXU Energy power player to watch. Active switch hitters. Yeah, he's got some pretty impressive numbers. 1 and 2 to count now. 2,064 hits. Jose Reyes with 2,100. Melky Cabrera still a shade back of both of them. Of course, Martinez, a career that wasn't real clear at the end of last season if it might have been over. A regular heartbeat sent him to the hospital, had cardiac ablation surgery, and it was not a given that he would come back and be ready to go, although he had the surgery and recovered quickly and well. And he made it clear from the get-go, no, I'm coming back for his 16th big league season. 39 years old now. Rolls one to shortstop. Profar with all kinds of time, and there are 2 away. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with John Radigan.
First baseman John Hicks.
Oh my.
Where the Orioles came into that game 8-26. Cincinnati has a worse record. They're 8-27. But I think the Orioles held out some hope before the season started that they would contend this year. Appears that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so. Hicks a little blooper down to first, and Guzman takes care of it. It's a 1-2-3. Top of the 3rd inning as Minor bounces back nicely. Bottom of the order coming up for the Rangers when we return. Houston Astros, they have a number of players that you might circle on the lineup card as being big threats. George Springer, chief among them, 6 for 6 last night. Second player in franchise history to turn in 6 hits. But this is the first one in a 9-inning game. Joe Morgan did it in a 12-inning game. And his batting average rose almost 30 points with that effort last night.
One of those 6 hits was a home run that he took his A swing and made A contact with the right trajectory. Went, I think, 460 or 470 feet to left center field.
He is a pretty talented player. He's not a, it'd be one thing if he was just a big slugging, Frank Thomas kind of guy, but he's an incredible outfielder to boot. 0-2. Very close one there. Kiner Falefa keeps the at bat going.
They were talking about Mike Fiers has to mix in his pitches, off-speed pitches with his fastball and have good command. And through 6 hitters, he has done that.
Kiner Falefa to the right side, off of Hicks. Fiers racing to the bag, and he just does beat Kiner Falefa. 1 away. That's the old 3-4-1 putout. They work on that at spring training.
That was a nice play. Hicks couldn't handle it. Machado was right there, and the key part of that was Fiers was covering first base. And got his foot down with the ball just before Isaiah touched first base.
A good hustle. Kiner Falefa couldn't coax a hit out of that one, and now Ronald Guzman, left-handed batter, and he'll take one off the plate for a ball.
Here's my take on hustle.
Yeah.
On that kind of a play, I can't call it hustle because he's going for a base hit. To me, if you hit a ground ball right at the second baseman and you run just as hard, now you've hustled.
That's hustle?
Yeah. Not that it's not hustle when you run hard, but there's an ulterior motive when you're chugging it out for a base hit than when you think it's an automatic out.
All right, so when you feel it's an automatic out, in other words, you've hit one, a seed to second, he's right there, and you know you're going to be out. You run hard anyway. What is the motive there?
The motive there is to show the little kids in the stands that you run as hard as you can every time. Otherwise, guys would just peel off, take 2 steps, and go back in the dugout. But the real message is, even though it looks like a certain out, he might bobble it. He might pull the first baseman off the bag, and you might be safe. And then it's still an error, and you're still 0 for 1. But you have gotten on first base. If the motive for getting to first base as fast as you can is to beat it out for a base hit, then you have a good reason to go as fast as you can. The reason's not quite as good when you don't have a chance for a base hit.
There's a line drive to right field by Guzman. Well, just the second Rangers hit so far tonight off Fiers.
And the Condor put a charge in that one. They had the second baseman way out in right field. Not way out, but significantly out in right field. He hit it right at him, but fortunately went over his head.
So base runner for Carlos Perez. So see, I look back at not to pick this one apart too much, but Kiner hit that ball right to the first baseman. Right?
Good point. Good point.
You're thinking out all the way. I mean, if he gets that cleanly, that's got to be pretty routine. Bouncer to short. Second one on to first. Ooh, close one at first, but Perez nipped at the wire And the double play ends the inning. So we have played 3, and Detroit leads it 5-0.
Fan of the game, and let me tell you something, this one is dedicated. She has a Duty and Burke purse with the Texas Rangers logo. It lost all value when she asked me to sign it, but then look at this, she has a never ever quit tattoo. Heather Horton, what inspired you?
The Texas Rangers, my boys.
Yeah, they are permanently inked on her arm. Dedication, y'all, and that gets you the Progressive fan of the game.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Heather. Well deserved, girl.
Thank you, Emily.
Guys.
That's a nice signature on that bag, too.
I don't think we've had a fan of the game that deserved it more than she did.
No. No, that's definitely taking it to the ultimate level right there. There's the signature.
All right, there
It
you
actually
go.
looks really nice on the bag.
Up top. Yes, yes.
Now McCann lines one over third, and that is a base hit and more for him. He'll cruise to second with a stand-up double, and we are underway in the 4th inning. Well, the next Texas Chili Company Dollar Hot Dog Day will be tomorrow afternoon. Final game of the series with the Tigers. Come on out. It's a 105 game, and the ballpark hot dogs just $1 each. Go to TexasRangers.com for tickets or call 972 Rangers. It's an excused absence for anybody who shows up, as I understand it. I think that's. I've always understood attending a baseball game to be a legitimate excuse for whatever it is. It's a pop-up, headed foul, first base side. The Condor is there. One away. Except for jury duty. I don't know that attending a ball game is an acceptable, necessarily, excuse for jury duty. That might be the only
I
one.
can guarantee it's not.
You haven't tested it,
I've never tested that. No, I wouldn't do that. I take my jury duty responsibility very seriously.
I like it.
I postponed it a couple of times, which they were very nice to do when you have it during the season. But I've shown up every time.
Never
one
been
time
selected?
Yeah, I was selected one time. It wasn't a long trial. It was only a one-day trial. But it was actually kind of fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, it'd be a burden if you had to be there for weeks and weeks and weeks, but to go through the process for a day or two and watch it work and have a jury foreman and go through that, I really enjoyed it.
Upstairs, 1-1 on Iglesias. Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. I've always felt like I never get selected.
Yeah, well,
But
when you've got the time and you say, you know, I really don't have anything for the next week, and you go, you actually, I think you hope to get on a jury just to have that experience.
Iglesias had the 2-run homer in the second inning, his first of the year. And those were the 4th and 5th runs for the Tigers, so they have jumped out to a fast start tonight against Mike Minor. Remember, they led 5-1 yesterday, but the Rangers came back to win. 1-2 pitch. That's very high. Iglesias came in hitting just .228. Now, he's not in the lineup every day with expectations that he would do a ton of hitting. Now, he's just a great glove man at short. Little flare out to the right side of the infield, and Guzman, the man who grabs it. It was going to be Guzman or Kiner Falefa.
That's kind of a hard one there, because neither guy really had time to go, I've got it, I've got it. It wasn't hit high enough. I think both of them felt before that ball hits the ground, I've got to go catch it. Fortunately, the ball was caught and no one got hurt.
And because they were close enough, they weren't going too hard.
No.
So 2 away, and here is Machado, and he takes a strike. It's funny because Kiner Falefa yesterday was involved in a really big play on a pop-up out into short center field, and he talked a lot about it after the ball game yesterday. It was in the 8th inning, 1-1, and said, you know, I learned from it. It's about communication. He's like, Delino was calling for it. It's my job to get out of the way. But no harm done as long as you learn. 1-1. So fitting, perhaps, that he would get a similarly difficult or confusing play maybe on the infield today. I mean, is there anybody who necessarily has priority on that type of a pop-up?
I think generally speaking, the middle infielder would have priority, but I don't know that he had time to call off Ronald on that play. It just wasn't hit high enough to say, I've got it.
Machado waiting on a 2-2. Check swing, little tapper out in front of the plate. Minor will handle it, and that will do it at the top of the 4th inning. So McCann left at second base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the order coming for the Rangers. DeShields, Chu, and Mazzara will be due. Mike Fiers, part of the rotation for the Tigers. About a .391 earned run average for the Tigers rotation. That's 5th best in the American League. Not bad at all. In a season where the expectations were as low as they are, the Tigers may be exceeding those a bit right now, at least in that regard. Delano DeShields starting things off here in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be DeShields, Chu, and Mazzara. Rangers offense very quiet first time around against Fires. Two and 0. Well, yesterday, Delano was collared in 3 at-bats, had a walk. Lifts this ball high in the air out to left field, but apparently not going to carry. Goodrum able to get to it, one away.
He had a good swing at it. He hit it right on the barrel of the bat. He knows he hit it well. He just got underneath it and hit it straight up in the air. One as a hitter, it's kind of frustrating because you see the ball well, you take your good swing, you make the contact you want to make, you just miss the ball by a little bit by getting underneath it.
Chu takes a low strike from Fires. Chu had the base hit in the first inning. That one nibbles off the corner. Fires is coming off probably his toughest start of the year. 4 innings at Kansas City, allowed 5 runs on 6 hits. Only struck out 1. In fact, only threw 66 pitches in the game. And he's off the plate here, 1 and 2. Breaking ball, and that one bounced down to first. Hicks is there, though, has it, and will take care of Chu. 2 away. Well, it's time now for the Lowe's whole team together. Rangers with 14 home runs so far in the month. And this is only the 8th day of the month. Mazzara leading the way with 5 of them. Gallo with 4. DeShields with a couple. So the long ball has been there. It was a big part of the offense last year for the Rangers. Big part again this year. And first pitch, Mazzara singles into center field. So his first hit of the night.
That high changeup didn't have a chance of getting by Nomar. That came up there right down the middle of the plate. He smashed that thing into center field. You see, watch Fire's reaction. His hands are going up in the air. And I don't blame a pitcher for doing that either. You see the ball coming back towards you. You don't have time to get out of the way. You get your hands up as quick as you can. Whether that ball's right at your head or 10 feet away.
So 2-out base runner for Adrián Beltré. Inside. Gets those feet moving. It's one of those baseball cliches, right, about pitchers and move that hitter's feet. Don't let him get comfortable in there. Beltré, I mean, he's willing to move those feet all the time. He didn't care.
I love that 2-minute video clip we had on him. When they showed that play at second base when he did the 360 dancing at second base. Can't control his legs.
He's a nut. 2-0 the count. Had a pretty good pass to the ball in the second inning, but flat out to right field. Takes that one low. It's 3-0. And you know, when you look at the head-to-head numbers, Beltré 6 for 14 against Fires. That's a .429 average. He's taken him long once. Really one of the only ones in the lineup today with any significant history against Mike Fires. 3-0. And he's taken all the way.
Well, Rangers have a chance to duplicate what they did yesterday. They were behind 5-1. with Michael Fulmer on the mound pitching a one-hitter. The only hit through 5 innings was Nomar's home run. And they put together some nice at-bats in the 6th inning to tie the game.
3-1 pitch, and this one lifted into the air, right field, shallow, drops in, base hit. Mazzara heads to third, and Beltré with his first hit since coming back.
Yeah, that ball hung up there for a long time. Castellanos either got a bad break on it, or he must have been playing pretty deep in right field. Adrian hit it off the end of the bat and looped it into right center field. Yeah, Castellanos is kind of over in right field and very deep. There's the play at second base. You know,
here's the other one.
All the time you're in baseball, you say all the time, you can never say I've never seen anything or you'll never see that again. But I literally have never seen anybody do that before.
So that's a big hit, by the way. It's not just a simple single in an inning, because now you have 2 men on in front of Joey Gallo. Much different than having Gallo leading off the next inning. One big swing here changes the feel of this game enormously. Last night, with runners in scoring position, the Rangers were 3 for 4. But there were times this year where it felt like we'd go a week and a half, maybe getting 3 hits with runners in scoring position. They did it 3 times in yesterday's game. Mazzara third base, Beltré at first. Gallo takes a strike. 0-2. Well, you get the sense from what we saw in the early innings that this may well be a high-scoring game. Wind blowing hard, get a ball up there today, and it could be a lot of trouble. Gallo wants to do that right here. Meanwhile, they want the pitch up. It is up, but way off the plate. Joey was 1 for 4 yesterday with a double and an RBI. His last 5 hits have all been for extra bases, 4 homers, and then the double last night. Again, they won it up. Fiers will step off. Fiers not real sure what that indication was that he made right there, kind of with his palms pushing down as he looked at the plate. 1-2. And a high pop-up. This one way up there. And everybody's circling around. Nobody sees it. And that is a foul ball. Wow. Fiers was on it. He kept looking at McCann. And McCann, I don't want to say didn't have any interest, but he wasn't even looking for it.
I don't know what happened. If they didn't see it, they didn't think they could catch it. Fiers, you're right, Dave. Fiers is the one that saw it right from the start and came over and wanted to catch it, but I'm sure he kind of fell back on, get the pitcher out of the way, let one of the fielders catch it. I don't think Hicks either didn't see it or didn't want any part of it. Thought it was closer to the catcher. And, you know, maybe Fiers kind of got in his way. I don't know what happened on that one, but it was up a long time. There's plenty of time for someone to get underneath that ball other than the pitcher.
McCann looked to the left initially. That might have been what messed him up. So an extra opportunity. The 1-2. And it's in the dirt. And McCann, when he came out of the crouch after he saw the foul ball, he looked over to the third base side immediately and up in the air. So he just flat missed where it was going off the bat. And I think he just, once he couldn't find it, couldn't recover. Even though Fiers was basically yelling at him and pointing, trying to get him to find it. That's tough.
I know one thing. If that was Kevin Brown on the mound,
oh boy,
Kevin Brown would have caught that ball. He wouldn't have cared where the first baseman or the catcher was. They could have bumped into him from both sides, and he would have caught that ball. He used to dive for balls that were foul balls near the dugout.
Well, Fiers eventually gets Gallo to swing and miss, and that's a 3rd strikeout of the night for Mike Fiers. We'll go to the 5th inning. It's 5-0. Here in Arlington, and the first pitch of the 5th inning is popped up. You can tell right now the sky's a little tough. Kiner Falefa had an eye on it, and he puts it away to retire Jacoby Jones, and we are underway in the 5th.
And while we got a second, Dave, I want to make a shout out to one of my all-time favorite people in baseball. I know he's watching the game tonight. That's Eddie Robinson. Eddie and his wife Betty watch all our games. Big Ranger fans. Eddie was one of the first scouts that came to Pittsfield when I was in high school to watch me play. He was the general manager when I played in Texas. He actually hired me when my playing career was over to start a front office job. He hired me to be director of group sales. And since that time, he's been the president of our local alumni chapter. Good friend, great baseball person, overcoming some health issues recently, but doing well and watching Ranger baseball. So, hi, Eddie. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching.
Little pop up by Candelario, 2 away, and you got me started on Eddie a couple of years ago at spring training. And
when Eddie came to spring training,
he was at a spring training game, and we showed him, and you started telling some of the stories and told me about his book. Lucky Me, I think, is the name of the book, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable baseball life. That's an unbelievable baseball life.
It is. And he's such a humble guy that you would never know all the accomplishments that he's had in baseball, all the people he's worked for. He worked for Ted Turner and was an all-star caliber player himself, one of the great power hitters in the American League. Yeah, that book is Lucky Me. If you like baseball stories from the old days, that's a great one.
Little roller at third base. Beltré's throw pulls Guzman off the bag. And so Castellanos is safe here with 2 out in the 5th inning. An error on Beltré.
The ball just kind of sailed a little bit on Adrian. And even with the condor at first base, it pulled him off the bag.
So a little opportunity for the Tigers here to out base runner. And Victor Martinez, who homered earlier, 1 for 2 tonight.
One of my favorite stories about Eddie, a couple of years ago, I was at a luncheon over in Dallas, and Eddie was there with Dr. Bobby Brown, who was a teammate of Eddie's with the Yankees, president of the American League, world-renowned heart surgeon. And they were both there, and I saw Bobby Brown, and I said, "Did you drive over here all the way from Fort Worth?" And he goes, "Oh, no, I don't drive anymore." I think Bobby was probably 91 or 92. And I said, "How'd you get here?" He said, "I have a driver." I said, "Who was your driver?" "Well, Eddie Robinson drove me over." Eddie was 95. That's the kind of shape those two guys are in.
It is amazing. And one of the fun stories, I mean, look, there's any number of incredible things, moments, accomplishments, but the Babe Ruth story, you know, his speech at Yankee Stadium where he was leaning up on a bat that Eddie handed to him. It was Eddie's bat that he took out there for that. I mean, one of the most historic moments and speeches in baseball history. And there's Eddie, and you can see pictures of Eddie just on the top step, watching.
I'd forgotten that.
Man, talk about being part of some of the great moments all time. Castellanos, a small lead at first. The 3-1 pitch. Martinez turns it foul. Well, 5-0 here. Tigers on top. Minor, it was a little rocky that first time through. In fact, the Tigers were 6 for 9 the first time through the order. Since then, they've had just one hit. They're, what, 1 for 12. Minor settled down a little bit. Well, the pitch count right now in good shape for Mike, even when he was giving up the hits there early on, and not all of them were rockets by any stretch. Castellanos, the infield hit. He was doing it quickly. Little tapper by the mound. Profar charges, will throw on the run, and takes care of Victor Martinez to end the top of the 5th. Halfway there already tonight, and it's 5-0 Tigers. Construction moving along very quickly just outside the ballpark here and in the shadows of AT&T Stadium off in the distance. Boy, it's exciting to see that thing going up, and Globe Life Field underway as well. We are now in the bottom of the 5th inning of this one. 5-0 Tigers, and Profar leading things off for the Rangers. Struck out of the 2nd. He's 0 for 1. It'll be Profar, Kiner Falefa, and Ronald Guzman. Fires pumps that one in. That'll even the count at 1-1. Well, Fires, 32 years old, signed by the Tigers as a free agent this last winter, right about the time of the winter meetings. Originally drafted in the 22nd round by Milwaukee and came up with the Brewers in 2011. Pitched a handful of years in Milwaukee. Was traded as part of the Carlos Gomez deal in 2015. Went to Houston and played 2.5 years with the Astros. And there were some up and down moments for him with the Astros, but he did throw a no-hitter with them at home at Minute Maid Park, the only no-hitter that has been thrown in that park. So he's certainly had his moments. 2-2. And that one a little bit high. Alan Porter on the appeal said he didn't go. Noting earlier, Tom, that he was a bit more of a strikeout pitcher when his career began with Milwaukee. You go back to his college days, and he was a tremendous strikeout pitcher. Oh, Profar launches that ball deep to right, and it's gone. Well, a no-doubter from Jurickson Profar, and the Rangers are on the board tonight.
Well, when you time the changeup just right and get one out over the plate about belt high, it basically becomes a batting practice pitch. And this is a high changeup right down the center of the plate, and Jurickson wasn't fooled by it. He waits on it, and off it goes.
Nice catch by a fan out there. So a run on the board, and Kiner Falefa takes a big rip. A 400-foot home run by Profar.
Same stage of the game that the Rangers put a nice rally to score 4 runs and tie the game yesterday. 6th inning, actually, but middle of the game.
A fly ball out to center field, and Kiner Falefa retired, one away. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again with John Radigan. The Big Maple.
It seems like at least once a week, but even it seems more than that someone's taken a no-hitter past the 6th inning recently. Been a couple of times where guys have done it. Yankee rookie the other day, whose name escapes me right now, Domingo something or other. 6 innings. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, 6 innings. 2 young pitchers whose pitch counts were high enough to where they didn't have a chance to get the no-hitter, but had no-hitters through 6.
2-1 the count to Guzman. And he swings and hits this ball hard but foul. 2-2 the count. Yeah, you have made that point and maintained it the last, I don't know, week and a half now.
It just keeps happening.
2-2.
Paxton's last start, he struck out 16 and was so dominant. The other team just didn't have a chance. Throwing 98-mile-an-hour chest-high fastballs, a sharp breaking slider.
Ooh, strike 3 called on Guzman. He does not like it. 2 away.
Came back and was just high enough. Of course, if there's anybody that might not be high enough on, as high off the ground as his knees are, it might be Ronald. But on the other hand, there's an adjustment made for every hitter. The high point in the strike zone, the low point in the strike zone. So that rectangle looks the same for everybody, but it's actually tailor-made to the hitter. So the one for Jose Altuve is a little bit smaller than the one for Ronald Guzman.
I don't think you were thinking of Domingo Herman.
Yes,
Yeah.
Domingo Herman. Yep. I hadn't heard the name until I watched him the other day. Pretty impressive, though. Just what the Yankees need.
It was
Another good young pitcher.
his first career start.
Yeah.
He pitched last year, I mean, like a handful of times out of the bullpen. But young guy, and
They've already got one of the best young pitchers in baseball in Severino.
Five to 1 to score here. 0-2 pitch. And Perez pops it up. Right side and into the stands. But we keep one wandering eye on that game up in Toronto tonight. See if Paxton will be able to pull that off in the 9th inning. Friars have to do a little work here in the 5th inning. Perez battling him well here with 2 strikes. Takes outside. So I was saying earlier that Friars was a good strikeout pitcher in college. He played for Nova Southeastern University. And I don't know, there aren't a lot of contexts in which I'm exposed to a lot of.
Where is that?
Different. It's in Florida.
Florida?
Yeah, and I'd never heard of it. Nova Southeastern University. They're the Sharks. But he led the nation in strikeouts. Which to me, that's one of those things, right? Anytime you hear about some of the big statistical leaders in college baseball year by year, typically they're coming from those baseball schools.
Mm-hmm.
You see, hey, the national leader right now in strikeouts, he's from Nova Southeastern University. And you think, well, where is that? Just outside Fort Lauderdale. 1-2. And that's in the dirt. So this will be the 8th pitch of the at bat to Perez. Rangers with 5 hits so far tonight. The 1 run came on the Profar homer. And a swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts for Friars to get out of the 5th inning. But the Rangers start the scoring. Profar with a blast to right field, 400 feet. That's a 5-1 game.
Arlington, the Rangers on the board thanks to a Jurickson Profar solo home run. And in talking to Jurickson actually just before today's game about how he's felt playing on a consistent basis, and he said he really has just tried to keep his head down, stay consistent, keep his approach consistent, his schedule consistent, and most importantly, he's just wanted to stay healthy so he could see what he could do at this level over an extended period of time. Hopefully those results starting to come, guys.
Yeah, we have seen certainly plenty of indication, and it was interesting the other day, just talking around the batting cage where we were on the road. But Anthony Iapoce saying, he's like, oh no, I can definitely see this. You give this guy 500 plate appearances, you're going to see some big numbers because he does put big league at bats on guys. Well, he's getting a lot of opportunity right now. The average hasn't been real high for him, although it's fluctuated wildly game by game because of the short number of at-bats. As Hicks goes down looking, and there is one out here in the 6th.
Well, Mike Minor definitely made some adjustments after the home run that Iglesias hit in the 2nd inning. They'd hit 3 through 9 hitters, the first 9 hitters of the game. There've been 3 home runs and 5 runs. Since that time, Mike's only given up 1 hit, throwing the ball well, locating his pitches much better. There's a good fastball right on the inside corner. Fastball is the same velocity as it was a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit better command. Another one. He's only thrown 72 pitches. A lot of the damage that was done with the 6 hits in the first 2 innings was done early in the count.
Whoa, bat toss.
That's getting fooled on a changeup right there.
Yeah, that needs more pine tar.
Good changeup. Way out in front of it. As strong as McCann is, he wasn't strong enough to hang on to onto the bat as much as he was fooled. Whoops.
0-2 pitch. And strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts for Minor. Both of them looking.
And both of them almost the same pitch. 92-mile-an-hour fastball right near the inside corner. You can see Carlos Perez has his glove right there, and Mike delivered the ball right where he wanted it. And Mike obviously getting sharper as the game goes on.
Delivers a strike to Nico Goodrum. Minor working with a pretty good up tempo right now. Just getting it and chucking it ahead here. 0-2. 3 strikeouts so far tonight. That one just missed. He's given up 1 hit in the last 15 at bats. His 1-2, and Goodrum lifts it out to short center. Delino on the run, almost overruns it, but he'll make the play. Too much speed, Delino.
Add a little flair to that routine play.
Throttle it down, big guy. 1, 2, 3, top of the 6th. Rangers down by 4. your local Buick dealer today. Well, bottom of the 6th inning on another beautiful night here tonight at Globe Life Park. Top of the order coming for the Rangers. Delano DeShields shoots that one into right field. That's a base hit. Oh, good start to the 6th. Great speed out there now for the Rangers.
Well, the score was 5-1 in the bottom of the 6th in yesterday's game when the Rangers put a little rally together. So let's hope history repeats itself tonight.
I like where your head's at there, Tom. That's a very good observation. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. Well, the no-hitter for James Paxton, it is complete. The 6th in Mariners history. I think you got Josh Donaldson to roll out to 3rd for the final out of the game, and Paxton with his first career no-hitter. This one gets away. DeShields goes to 2nd, and that'll be a wild pitch.
Let's see what happened on this one. It looked like James McCann got down but didn't have his glove down on the ground. We'll see it from this angle. Lifts up and right through the wickets that one ended up.
Interesting. Here's Chris Bosio. Hey, you know why he's relevant right now? Because of course he's having the conversation with his pitcher, but he threw the 2nd no-hitter in Mariners history.
There you go.
He did that back in 1993 against the Red Sox.
Pretty good timing. I think that's the only reason he came out.
That's got to be why he came out.
Fires ahead 5-1. He didn't need to talk to Fires.
That's why he has his hand over his mouth. It's like, most people think I'm coming out here to talk to you, but I need a little camera time.
Let me just wait long enough to make sure they get in my no-hitter.
Hang on, I think they're going to find it.
Nice going, Chris.
That's awesome. And Bosio's first year as the pitching coach in Detroit. Spent the previous 6 years with the Chicago Cubs. And of course, World Series ring for that effort. So 1-0 to Shin-Soo Choo.
Well, we were talking, Dave, how often no-hitters have gone past the 6th inning this year without any idea how many have actually happened that way. And Doug Foster did some research for us, and it's happened 19 times already.
Man.
There's been one a combined no-hitter, 2 other no-hitters already in the season. So it's an age of offense for sure. But you almost would say that because so many hitters are going for the home run so often without regard to striking out, that on a certain night when a great pitcher pitches with good stuff, that they're not more susceptible to a no-hitter because of that type of a swing instead of more of a contact line drive, hit the ball where it's pitched, doubles in the gap, base hit kind of swing.
.3-0. Choo swinging. 3-1. So wait a minute, the no-hitter the other day for the Dodgers, that was in Mexico, right?
Yeah, combined no-hitter. Yeah, they were playing the Padres, I think, in Mexico.
So this no-hitter was in
Mexico.
And tonight was in Canada.
Yeah, that was in Toronto.
High fly ball out to right field. And there is one away. DeShields tags and moves up. That means we have 3 no-hitters this year in 3 different countries.
Yeah. I wonder if that's ever happened before. I doubt it.
I can't imagine.
Maybe 2 countries. Not like they've been playing games anywhere but Canada and the United States.
Pretty rare that we see a couple of games.
There's
maybe.
There's a game in England on the horizon.
Yeah, Yankees and Red Sox.
Played games in Japan.
Yep. Puerto Rico. And occasionally there's been an exhibition or 2 down in Mexico. Anyway, we're playing the United States here tonight. 5-1 Detroit leading, but Mike Fiers is done. Daniel Stump is coming on. Catch the Rangers in action against the Yankees in this 3-game series. Great seats are still available, and you can get those tickets at TexasRangers.com or by picking up the old telephone and dialing 972-RANGERS. So 1 away. DeShields is at third base, and the heart of the order, third place hitter Nomar Mazara steps in against Daniel Stumpf. And the first pitch is low for a ball.
He's pitched a lot. This will be his 19th game. Tigers have played 35 games, so he's been in well over half the games. On pace to pitch in about 90 games.
1-1 the count on Mazara. To which Mike Montgomery says, yeah, so 90 games. Give me 200 innings.
Mike Marshall?
Oh, Mike Marshall, that's right. Mike Marshall, give me 200 innings out of the pen. Then we'll talk.
101 appearances and 200 innings. Now that's a record that's never going to be broken.
Probably not. Probably not. 1-2 the count. Mazara singled his last time up. Now 15 of the 18 appearances that Stumpf has made so far have been scoreless. Mazara leans out. That one is away. 2-2 the count. Now we said it earlier, Mazara has the home run swing going right now. And Stumpf maybe really hyper aware of that and continues to throw him away. Full count. Fire's done after 5 1/3, though he is responsible for DeShields. That man looming on deck. Beltré, his first game back from injury. And low, ball 4. Beltré will bat with a couple of men on.
Well, that's what you're hoping for. Get some base runners for the middle of the lineup. Got Beltré, Gallo coming up. Lefty on the mound for Adrian right here.
So Fiers, it's interesting too, Fiers outing today, he only got to 79 pitches. And was taken out of the ball game. So Detroit going into that young bullpen. Stumpf to Adrián Beltré, and that's low and in. Yesterday, Stumpf ended up taking the loss, pitched a third of an inning. They gave up a run on 2 hits. And that's when he came in to face Chu, Profar, and Mazara. Chu reached on that infield hit, the one on which DeShields scored all the way from first. Profar then tripled, and Mazara ultimately struck out, and that was it for Stumpf. He was tagged with the loss in that one. Buck Farmer ready out of the bullpen. 1-1 to Adrián Beltré. Look out. I don't know how that missed Adrian.
I don't know how it missed him either. I lost track of the ball. Figured it hit him right in the hip. Didn't miss by much. Well, good hitters count. Kid struggling with his control. 6 out of 9 pitches have been out of the strike zone.
This ball hit out to the alley in left field. That one drops in, base hit, so DeShields will score. Mazzara heading to third. They're on the corners. Another run is in. And Beltré with his second hit of the night makes it a 5-2 ball game.
Well, we mentioned Adrian in the last 17 games he played before he got hurt was hitting .360. He comes back without a rehab assignment. Doesn't need one. A waste of time for him. And his first game back, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Rangers trying to put together another 4-run rally here in the 6th inning like they did last night.
So now Gallo, and they go into that shift. Mazzara does not have a ton of speed over third, but he's way down the line. There's a strike on Gallo. There's the shift. Not as absurd as others we have seen, but that is a decided pull shift for Gallo on the ground. The outfield pretty much straight away. Oh, this one lifted straight up in the air. Foul ground, first base side, and it is the second baseman Machado who ultimately gets underneath it to make the play. Out number 2. Ooh.
I think Joey felt like he had a pitch he could handle. In fact, he did, right down the middle of the plate. A little upset with himself. He had the right swing. He just got underneath it a little bit. Hit it straight up in the air.
It's good to see Beltré looking for it to do. He was like an infielder taking a look at it. Stump is done. Farmer coming on for the Tigers.
But they've got a couple of men on base. Buck Farmer into the game. He'll face Jurickson Profar, who is the tying run right now. Let's go back to the 5th inning. Against Mike fires a changeup right down the middle of the plate, and Jurickson drives it way out of here to right field. Jurickson's second home run of the year. And he's got a chance to do something to get the Rangers right back in the game right here.
Well, he's got a couple of base runners out there. Mazzara at third, Beltré at first. 2 out. And Farmer comes inside with ball 1. He's the 3rd pitcher of the inning.
Dave, if you're interested in a little statistical nugget, this one is via Fangraphs, and it comes from our buddy over in the radio booth, Jared Sandler. Says that Jurickson Profar sees changeups over 18% of the time. That's the 5th highest rate of any hitter in baseball. Pitchers throw him a lot of changeups. Came into the game 3 for 14 against changeups. And that was the pitch we just showed that he hit 400 feet against Mike Fiers. So you can throw it, but certainly doesn't guarantee success.
Of course, you start hitting them like that, and you'll probably
Stop
start seeing them a lot less.
That percentage will go down.
Ooh, boy, what a stop back there by McCann. And that thing just about took him with it.
Pretty nice pickup by McCann right there. Didn't get over to block it. He just picked it instead.
Kind of a high risk maneuver for a catcher. 2-1 inside. And that is ball 3. Just missed Profar. Well, if he can reach, we get the potential go-ahead run to the plate. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa waiting in the on-deck circle. Farmer last night got a couple of outs, and then it looked like he had gotten Delano DeShields on a ground ball to short that was an error, and then opened a bizarre inning. 3-1. This one swung on and lofted out to short right field, but it'll hang up for Castellanos, and that will do it in the bottom of the 6th. The Rangers will take a run. They leave 2. We'll go to the 7th inning in a 5-2 game. $16 Upper Reserve tickets for this Friday home game, thanks to Fox Sports Southwest and T-Mobile. Just go to TexasRangers.com/specials to get your tickets and come on out and see us. Jose Iglesias takes a strike to start things here with the 7th inning. It'll be Iglesias and Dixon Machado and Jacoby Jones back to the top of the order. 1-1.
It'd be great to see Mike finish strong here in the 7th inning. After the start, he had 6 hits, 3 home runs, 5 runs the first time through the lineup. Since that time, coming into the 7th, he's pitched 5 innings, given up 1 hit, no runs. Definitely settled down, gained command of his pitches, and doing a nice job. Hopefully it continues here in the 7th inning. Another good fastball right in on fist.
1-2 on Iglesias. And there's Alex Claudio getting ready in the Rangers pen. The pitch count still well in check. This will be his 83rd pitch of the night. Inside, and I think that may have gotten Iglesias. So he'll be awarded first base. not the way he wanted to start rather this 7th inning. It does give us a moment for a word from our friends at Southwest Kia.
$250 down, $250 a month or less on select new Kias in stock, only at southwestkia.com.
And so now Minor needs that ground ball. They did get a double play back in the 2nd inning. It's Machado showing bunt. And that will get Doug Brocail out of the dugout. Comes out to the mound on a jog. It's interesting. I mean, I know you never pitched, Tom, at least not at the big league level.
Nope.
But a guy squares to bunt like that. And it's interesting. I mean, something got Doug's attention, and he felt a real need to get out there. And I'm always fascinated by those moments, right? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know that it had anything to do with the bunt or exactly what Doug picked up, but got out there with a sense of urgency to get his point across.
So now the 1-0. What kind of adjustment might have been made? A little high with the fastball. 2-0. If he can get through this 7th inning, keep it a 5-2 game, a couple of things. Number one, it would give the Rangers a shot in their final 3 at bats. And then even though the line wouldn't be a spectacular one for him, bouncer just fouled. Well, you'd have to feel pretty good about that outing, right?
For sure. Yeah. It's a forgettable 9 batters, the first 9 batters of the game. Mike just came out and had a hard time locating the ball where he wanted to early, and Tigers took advantage of that. And just because you don't have your best command doesn't mean the other team's going to hit 3 home runs. That's just kind of the way it went the first 9 hitters. But since then, he settled down and pitched well.
Machado wants a moment. Machado 1 for 2, had the base hit in the 2nd inning. And this one out of Perez's glove. 3-1 the count, so a tough spot here. Real good hitters count, and Minor needs to make a big pitch. To go, doesn't matter, it's a strike. Full count. Top of the order, Jacoby Jones, their leadoff man, waiting in the on deck circle. Swinging a high pop up, foul ground, and Guzman over there, but no chance. Did he lose the popcorn? Oh. (3-2). Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. And it is in time.
What a throw.
And they got him double play.
Boy, Carlos Perez got rid of that about as quickly as you could get rid of a ball and threw a strike right on the bag. Nice throw. Even Pudge is pretty proud of that one. Watch how quickly he gets rid of it. One step right on the money.
Iglesias didn't quite get to the base. It didn't matter because they were waiting for him. And now a strike in there to Jones. So a huge strike him out, throw him out, double play. Now Minor picking up the pace a little bit. Pours that one in there, and it's 0-2. And I think Jones, well, he turned away there. Almost felt like he was rushed a little. 0 for 3 tonight. Now the 0-2 inside. Boy, so consistent inning by inning. Tied again, and it's 2-2. Well, that caught stealing. I thought there was a chance that Machado was interfering with the throw. Yeah, just missed outside. Full count. Didn't matter. The throw was a good one, and tag in plenty of time. Minor got ahead 0-2, and now the payoff. And it's for the foul.
Watch out.
So the 97th pitch of the night. And it's a high fly ball center field. And we've seen this one before. This time to Shields. Takes it. And Kiner Falefa peels off. Great finish to this one for Mike Minor tonight. And he keeps it a 3-run game. All right, bottom of the 7th now. Rangers down by 3. And Kiner Falefa to lead things off. He will take strike 1. It'll be Kiner Falefa, Ronald Guzman, and then Carlos Perez. Rangers 2 runs on 7 hits. In fact, we're even in the hit column today. And it's 0-2. Tigers scored the first 5 runs of this one, and they did it really before most of us were settled down in our seats. Rangers chipped away a little bit, a run each of the last 2 innings. And it's kind of like they did it last night. They were down 5-1 last night and came back to win. You can see a lot of contributions up and down the order. Kiner Falefa looking for his first hit of the night. And he will take strike 3. So 1 out here in the 7th. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again with John Radigan.
The Big Maple returns to the motherland. That doesn't sound like a baseball game.
God save the Queen.
That's pretty impressive. 99 pitches is all it took.
Yeah, and you and I were talking off the air about it, but that's not a real good pitcher's ballpark up there in Toronto, boy.
No, it's got turf, so you know the ball rolls through the infield. Ball carries pretty well. There's a lot of ways to get hits there. But when you're throwing 100 miles an hour in the 9th inning, you're making it pretty tough on the other team.
Guzman with a bouncer, second base. Machado's there, 2 away. So it'll bring up Carlos Perez.
Carlos Perez.
But if you're asking yourself right now, wait a minute, Carlos Perez, it's okay. You're excused. I mean, there have been so many roster moves, injuries, changes with this team in the first 5 weeks of the season. You might have missed it. Perez, a waiver claim last week on Wednesday, was added to the 25-man roster the next day. Was with Atlanta. And the Braves designated him for assignment. So the Rangers picked him up. And now his second game behind the plate. Count evens at 1-1. Chirino still the everyday guy. Perez will spell him now and again. 1-1. Yeah, that's shanked over to the right side out of play. 1-2. Juan Centeno managed to clear waivers and was sent to AAA Round Rock, accepted that assignment, so he is still with the ball club. 1-2 pitch, and he went around. Perez knew it. It's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th for Farmer. So now 8th inning coming, a 5-2 game. In the cleanup spot, he flies out on his first at bat, but second AB, this one against Mike Fiers, drops it in there for a base hit, and then his last time up, base hit out into left, that drives in a run. Beltré with a great day at the plate, 2 for 3 so far tonight, and that moves him ever closer to number 22 all-time. Cap Anson on the all-time hit list. Ichiro Suzuki just announced his retirement or semi-retirement last week. Beltré close to him as well. So Adrián Beltré right back up on the horse today. Couple of base hits. And after Minor went 7 innings, Alex Claudio becomes a new pitcher here in the 8th.
We'll take a look at the pitch arsenal from Alex. Fastballs, 86 to 87 miles an hour. A lot of changeups and a slider.
That one right on the corner. 1-1 the count to Jeimer Candelario. Candelario, Castellanos, and then Victor Martinez here in the 8th inning.
I just can't say enough for the way Mike Minor finished out this game.
Fly ball out to right center. That one's in a tough spot. It gets down, and DeShields will have to take it on a hop. Candelario with a leadoff double.
See him spin that ball to try to make it tail away. And you know, Tigers are featuring a number of younger players, inexperienced players in their lineup right now. And I think if you had to pick one of the young players that probably has the best future, if you could even attempt to do that this early in their careers, I'd have to go with Jeimer Candelario. He reached out and hit a home run 400 feet to left field, drove that ball in the gap for a double. Hitting .280, that was his 5th home run. Last 20 games, he's hitting over .330. So early in the year, he's looking pretty good right now. Good young player.
Oh, way in, and that one got Castellanos. And he'll try to run it off. Head down to first base, so a double and a hit batter to start the 8th inning. Not what Claudio wanted.
He's trying to throw the fastball in, just held on to it a little bit long. That one's going to be stiff as the night goes on. It's right in the kneecap, it looked like. Getting back to Mike Minor, he essentially finished out the game with 6 shutout innings of 1-hit baseball. Now, Dave, we mentioned and you made reference to the fact that he was pitching on 4 days rest for the first time, and whether or not that had an effect, and we don't have the slightest idea if it did or not. But while it looked like it might have the first time through the lineup, I think you'd have to say it probably had nothing to do with tonight, because the way he finished the game out. Pitched almost up to 100 pitches, and the last 6 innings were terrific.
Martinez takes a strike. It's 1-1. Yeah, I think the question was answered by the way he finished.
Yeah,
for sure. Looked really good. But neither starter today fires 5 1/3. Minor his 7 innings. Neither starter walked a hitter today. I respect both of them did a really nice job. Claudio's 1-1, and there's a swing and a miss.
It's hard to walk the Tigers. They have the lowest walk rate, right up there with Seattle. I like those batting gloves, though. Those Tigers batting gloves. Pretty flashy. You like orange and black.
It's like a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
One-two pitch, and that one turned foul. Listen, you're Victor Martinez, and you've done what you've done in your career. You can, I don't know, you could bedazzle those gloves and wear them out there if you want to. He's a stud. He has produced in his 15+ years in the big leagues. Those are pretty sweet.
Yeah, made especially for the Tigers.
A little tapper out in front of the plate, and the throw to third. They'll get the out there. Wow, nice play by Perez to jump out and get the force out of Candelario at third base.
Well, the Rangers had talked about how much they liked Carlos Perez, how impressed they are with scouting reports on him, what they've seen of him over the years. And based on the last couple of innings, that throw to second base to get the steal attempt and pouncing on this little dribbler down the third baseline, instead of going to first for the sure out, throwing on a run like a shortstop. Nice play. 2 superb throws in the last couple of innings. Get a little bit of a glimpse of why the Rangers liked him so much.
Now Victor Reyes pinch running again tonight over there at first base, so he replaces Martinez. And Claudio floats one off the outside corner for a ball on John Hicks. That little tapper had some weird action. Maybe it was the bat and the way the bat fell down as well, but it almost looked like one of those plays that was going to turn into a mess somehow. So really nice job to take care of that business. 1-1 now on Hicks, who's hitless so far in 3 tries tonight.
That's the changeup. Feels like it's never going to get there for the hitter.
Two and one the count. Well, Claudio gets some ground balls. He could use one here. Hicks figured would be a pretty good candidate. He swings and misses. This one will get away though, and both runners will move up. So Castellanos to third. Reyes, the pinch runner, goes to second. And that is a pass ball.
Yeah, that's probably just a rare miss for Perez. Didn't look like the ball did anything tricky. Just went to catch it. Maybe it sunk a little more than he thought it was going to sink. Kicked off his glove.
Two popped up right field. Mazzara over, makes the play. Tagging is Castellanos. Here comes a throw, not in time. Oh, the sac fly by Hicks makes it a 6-2 Tigers lead.
Catcher James McCann.
It looks like Don Wakamatsu wants to make sure he didn't leave too early. That might be what they're looking at.
We've seen Nomar launch some long, accurate throws. That one was asking a little bit too much, a little bit too far out there in right field to get Castellanos, who slid across the base. He made a throw almost that long to get Sandy Leon the other day at third base.
Yeah, anytime he's in a
could bring
position.
Sandy Leon back instead of Castellanos right there. He might have thrown him out again.
You gear up for it though. When you get a fly ball like that out to right, you know Mazzara's thinking about it. 3 outfield assists this year already. There's a strike to McCann. It's 1-1. He's got a strong, accurate arm. But a pretty big insurance run for the Tigers. 6-2. Oh, a bunt. Drop down third base side foul. 1-2. McCann had a double earlier tonight. He also struck out looking. Last year, McCann had a real big year offensively for him. He's just 27 years old, but had a career best 13 homers last year, 49 RBIs. And he watches that one off the outside corner. Well, a double, a hit batter. And the force out at third base. Now the sac fly. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Alex Claudio. Full count. Now, on the bottom of this 8th inning, the Rangers will have the top of the order coming. So that'll be interesting. Been chipping away in these late innings. That guy will be leading it off. Let's see if they can generate one of those comebacks again tonight against the Tigers bullpen. First, Claudio needs to take care of this guy. And he misses ball 4, so McCann walks. Tigers have him on the corners. Well, Memorial Day weekend, we invite you to come on out to the ballpark. The Rangers and Kansas City Royals over the weekend. First 15,000 fans to the game on Sunday, May 27th. We'll get a Rangers cap courtesy of Carter Blood Care. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Now Goodrum takes a strike. We see some activity out in the Rangers bullpen. Claudio doesn't appear to be at his sharpest today. This guy, Nico Goodrum, 26 years old. Got a cup of coffee last year with the Minnesota Twins. Saw action in 11 games. And he hits his ball on the ground to Profar. He'll throw to second. And that force out ends the inning. But the Tigers do scratch out an important run. They lead by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Play for free. Start your streak for a chance at $5.6 million. All you need is 1 hit a day. Download Beat the Streak today. That's what we call easy money. Joe Jimenez making his 19th appearance for the Tigers.
Yeah, both Stump and Jimenez have now appeared in 19 games. Coming in to today's games, that would have ranked as tied for first in appearances in the American League. So a couple of Tigers have been getting a lot of work. And throwing Joe Jimenez is one of them.
So he has the top of the order. Lano picked up a hit in his last at bat. That was in the 6th inning, a single to right field. And he takes run of the outside corner. It's 1-1. Jimenez, 23 years old, from Puerto Rico. Made his big league debut last year. 24 relief appearances with the Tigers. Did not go well for him, though. Pitched to a 12.32 earned run average last season. But he has always been one of those kind of high ceiling guys in the minor leagues. A guy who pitched in the Futures game in 2015. 1-2, and a ground ball hit sharply up the middle. That's a base hit, so DeShields is on to start the 8th inning. 2nd hit of the night.
Delano lost his 10-game hitting streak yesterday. But he's picked up a couple of hits and scored a run so far in this game. Came into the game hitting .294. High fastball, mid-90s fastball. Big swing and a base hit for Delano. Still trying to get a big inning going here late in the game.
So Delano on. Pitch to Chu, that one down low for a ball. Let's check in with Emily again.
Yeah, I talked to Delino about scoring all the way from first on that infield single yesterday, and I said, where does that rank? Is that, you know, above an outfield assist, below a home run? Where is it? And he said, you know what, for me, it just depends on the situation. If it's a big moment in the game, then it's high up on the list, and last night it was.
Yes, it was. That was an outstanding play yesterday. It's so exciting to see, and that's what he brings. Real high energy out there. That was a ground ball to second base that rolled, just trickled out into right field, and he scored from first. The throw wasn't even close. It got cut off. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. 2-0 on Chu. But he has game-changing speed. You hear that said at times about guys. Oh, his speed, he's a game changer. I mean, he is. We've seen him do it. It's a fairly modest lead. Chu, boy, that's a big rip right there. 2-1. Chu thinking long ball right there. It's been 17 games now for him. He had been on a little stretch where it seemed like he was hitting one every day or maybe two a series. But that came to a halt. 2-1 pitch down low. So real advantageous count right here for him. Chu had a hit back in the first. He's 1 for 3. And there's more power looming. (3-1). Chu went after it. This one ripped by first. That's a base hit. DeShields off and running. Into third base. Beasley will wave him. Chu with a double. Delino scores easily. And it's 6-3. Chu delivers again, and DeShields makes it look easy with that speed.
Well, if you're Chu and Mazzara hitting behind Delino, you love having him on base. Because if you give him a chance, he's going to score a run and get you an RBI. Shin-Su had swung and missed with a couple of fastballs in that at bat, but he laced that one. Got the barrel of the bat on that and drilled it down the line. All Delino's thinking right now is, I'm going to score on this ball. Never broke stride and scored easily. Well, the Rangers trying to get a little something going here. Already have something going. Need to carry it a little bit farther, though, to get back in the game.
I think Delino just doesn't like to slide. So he runs superhuman fast so he doesn't have to.
Well, might keep you from getting hurt.
Well, that is really quick. First to home, and Chris Bosio, another visit out to the mound. So he has been busy. Chu out there in scoring position for Nomar Mazar. Yeah, put it in the book. The Rangers have scored a run in the 5th, 6th, and now 8th innings. Jimenez is low, 1-0. So a couple of youngsters going head-to-head right here. Jimenez, 23 years old. Mazzara just turned 23 years old. It's 2-0. Nomar with appreciably more big league experience at this point in his career. Jimenez with that electric right arm. Omar's had a good night. A walk, a base hit. Little tapper, first base side. And Jimenez will win the race to the bag. Mazara first out of the inning. But 290 feet away now.
Third baseman, Adrián Beltré.
Another shot for Adrian. Good run his last time up. Good first game back. 2 for 3 already with an RBI.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how he didn't need a rehab assignment, rarely does, and he's sort of amazing in that way. But he really didn't. I mean, 2 hits today. You talk about the old cliche, rolling out of bed and having a couple of hits. My goodness. That one hurt.
Ball hit above his knee on his leg.
Two down at third. They play Beltré straight up everywhere on the diamond. And he takes inside. Looks weird right there. Everybody at their normal positions. Anymore, that is like the ultimate hat tip of respect. Sharply foul. 1-2 the count. Well, top 4 hitters in the order tonight for the Rangers. DeShields 2 hits. Chu a couple of hits, including a double. Beltré 2 hits, an RBI single. Mazara has a hit and a walk. Well, top 4 guys have really gotten it done tonight. Count stays 1-2 on Beltré. Ideal situation would be Beltré driving in Chu here to make it a 2-run game and getting that guy to the plate as a potential tying run. Gallo waiting on deck. Bloop over second base hit. Chu is in, and indeed Beltré has delivered his 3rd hit of the game. And it gets the tying run up in the 8th.
He's just run out of things to say about Adrian. Don't have enough words to describe how good he is. That was an off-speed pitch that he just reached out and made some contact and hit a line shot over second with it. Looked like a slider down and away. And that ball hit right on the barrel of the bat and shot over second base for another RBI. 3 for 4, 2 RBI singles.
Well, they're not going to let the hard-throwing Jimenez pitch to Joey Gallo. Blaine Hardy hauled out of the bullpen for the Tigers. RBI single by Beltré makes it a 2-run game, and it gets a tying run to the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-4. Joey Gallo up there. Blaine Hardy's first pitch, and a swing and a miss.
Blaine Hardy's pitched 1 inning. That was Saturday against the Royals. Gave up a home run in that game. His job is to try to neutralize the left-hand hitting Joey Gallo right here.
He's jumped ahead 0-2. Ground out, a strikeout, a pop out tonight for Gallo. 12 home runs and 25 driven in. Beltré playing around with Hicks a little bit. Oh, 2. Blocked back there by McCann. Well, that RBI single a moment ago by Beltré. Give him 1,652 RBIs. Now tied 27th all time with Tony Perez. Just keeps chipping away at the Hall of Famers. Two and 2. Well, you mentioned it, Tommy. Just called up the other day, activated on Friday by the Tigers, but Hardy has spent part of each of the last 4 seasons with the Tigers, also in the minor leagues. A guy who's just been up and down quite a bit over the years. And he gets Gallo. Swing and a miss, 2 away here in the 8th inning.
Hardy came in to face 1 hitter. That'll be it for him, but he gets the slider down and away and got Joey to swing. So Blaine Hardy came in and did his job.
Well, we'll go deeper into this Tigers bullpen in a 2-run game. And FS1, every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1.
Shane Green on to pitch for the Tigers. Talked about a couple of the Tiger relievers appearing in their 19th game, which ranks in the top 3 or 4 in the American League. Shane Green's been in a lot of games himself. This will be his 16th game. 6 saves out of 8 opportunities. Nice strikeout to walk ratio, 18 strikeouts. Has given up 3 home runs.
Now works to Profar here. Had the home run back in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. Profar has stepped in once against Green, and Green walked him. Oh boy, that was smoked foul. Fortunately, again, that netting up there over the dugout saved somebody.
Boy, you know, there's been some fans that don't like the netting, but there's about 10 fans right there that can thank their lucky stars that that netting was right there. Can't get out of the way of that ball. And unless you can bring a glove, unless you play baseball before and know what you're doing, you might not even be able to get your glove up in time to catch a ball like that. So, thanks to the Rangers for putting that netting up. It's not mandatory, but it's necessary.
Yeah, one of the better things Major League Baseball has done in recent years. 2-1. Ooh, strike called, and that one close. I think Profar is saying maybe a little off the outside edge of the plate, but 2-2 the count. Makes for a big pitch here. 2 runs are in. Beltré out there at first base. A 6-4 game. Green, the closer for the Tigers, on to the 8th inning, and he's run the count full. So you figure they want Green to get the final out here, as well as pitching the 9th. If Profar can get on, Kiner Falefa would be next. We'll see another pitch. Well, it's like a broken record, Tom.
Another long at bat.
Yeah, 7th pitch of the at bat right here. So he's making Green work. 29-year-old right-hander readies. Beltré running, ground ball left side, smothered over there. The throw in time, barely getting Jurickson Profar. Well, that will do it in the 8th, but the Rangers got 2 big runs. DeShields started it with a base hit. Chu got him home with a double. And how about the captain? His 3rd hit of the night. It's a 2-run game. ahead to tomorrow. Our Ford probables have Bartolo Colon, second all-time among Dominican-born pitchers. Just 2 wins back of the all-time Juan Marichal. And he'll have the ball tomorrow against Francisco Liriano, countryman, 11th all-time on the Dominican list, 105 career wins. He'll have it for the Tigers. Should be fun tomorrow. Our pregame coverage beginning at 12:30. You'll join us on the TV side if you can't make it out to the ballpark. Kevin Jepson has come on to pitch here in the 9th inning. Jepson will get the 8th place hitter, Jose Iglesias, then Dixon Machado, and back up to the top of the order.
I talked about Kevin Jepson's pitch arsenal. He throws a fastball, curveball, only a few changeups. His repertoire is a lot like Keone Kela's. Keone a little more velocity, but their curveballs are similar. Type of curveballs that break straight down for the most part.
Angel Hernandez said he held up 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that Iglesias would have argued had that call gone the other way. We talked about this a lot last night. It's such a hard call for an umpire. And all we do is second guess because we get the benefit of a slow motion replay.
Iglesias had a big 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. He takes a strike here, 3-1. That was a weird start. Minor gave up 6 hits to the first 9 batters he faced tonight, but then just locked in from there. But unfortunately, 3 of the 6 hits were home run balls, including the one by Iglesias, his first home run of the year. So fouled away. It's a full count. Jepson, of course, really wants to get the first man he's facing here, Jose Iglesias, guy who Tigers acquired from Boston in that 3-team 7-player deal at the deadline several years ago. Fouled away. Stays 3-2. It was a deal involving, I'll say, the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Tigers. Jake Peavy, the big piece in that one. But Iglesias then had split that year between Boston and Detroit and ended up runner-up in the American League Rookie of the Year contest. (3-2) pitch. And he takes low, so a walk to start the 9th inning.
Second baseman Dixon Machado.
Well, guess what? You can come out to the ballpark for a Star Wars weekend. The first 15,000 fans to the ballpark on Saturday, May 26th. We're going to get a Star Wars Han Gallo bobblehead, courtesy of Medical City Healthcare. It's a Royals in town. It's a 3:05 game. Go to TexasRangers.com for tickets. Or call 972-RANGERS. Machado 1 for 3 tonight. His hit came in the 2nd. He has since bounced back to the mound and struck out swinging. In fact, that strikeout in the 7th inning was when Iglesias was trying to steal second, and it ended up on a double play. This one lined out to right field. That'll drop down, base hit. Iglesias with good speed heads to third, and so they have him on the corners here. Nobody out in the 9th.
And that obviously a hard hit ball, just a little blooper, but you kind of set up the inning to go against you when you have a leadoff walk. Leadoff walk now puts men at first and third with nobody out.
So now you really have to dial it in a little bit here. Everybody up on the edge of the grass. And Jones wildly goes after strike one. 0 for 4 tonight. Jones has hit everything in the air. Look at a guy who's average now down to 238 for the year. The on base average pretty low for a guy batting in the leadoff spot. In a big situation right here, though.
Rangers with men on first and third and nobody out because of the inning and because of the score have to play the infield in. Can't play back for a double play and give up another run.
And the best thing that Jepsen could get right here would be a strikeout. And his 0-2. Boy, that one might have caught just a piece of Jones, and that would be a mistake, of course, you desperately want to avoid. Tigers hitless so far tonight with runners in scoring position. They're 0 for 5. Iglesias at third, Machado at first. And a swing and a miss, strike three. Jepsen does get this strikeout.
Well, yeah, you know, he had a choice. He could go with another breaking ball, trying to throw it down and out of the strike zone to get Jones to chase it. Or he could try to go with a high fastball. Not sure if that's where he was trying to throw it or not, but it ended up there. And the result was good with Jacoby Jones swinging through that high fastball.
So one big out. Now Candelario, who's had a couple of hits tonight already. Home run and a double. Talented young switch hitting third baseman. He was the big get last year for the Tigers, as one is inside and the count 2-0. They started trading some of their coveted players when it was clear that they were out of things and needed to get younger. So they traded left-handed reliever Justin Wilson to the Cubs and got this guy Candelario in the deal. He went to the minor leagues for Detroit, but only spent about a month there before getting his call up and taking over at third base full time. And there was no question he was going to be their everyday third baseman this year.
He's only 24, and based on what we've seen in these two games, he looks like he's definitely someone you can build for the future with.
.30 pitch, and that is high, so he will walk. And the bases are loaded.
Castellanos has been the Tigers' best hitter so far this year. Had a breakthrough season last year. Had decent seasons, average seasons for 2 or 3 years. Then broke through last year. Big home run year, big RBI year, a lot of extra base hits. And he's carried over into this season, hitting over .320 right now.
Well, Jepsen would love to see him put it on the ground here. But it's in the air, down the right side, foul, and up into the stands. It was a big year, breakthrough year for Castellanos. Interesting. I mean, he was the guy who was displaced by Candelario at third base after 4 years at third. They felt like they needed a different look over there, and so they moved him to right field and allowed Candelario to take over. And the weird thing is, Castellanos really took off once he got out into right field. The numbers got even better for him. And he takes off the plate 1-1. So it took to a new position well. And it was not at all a distraction for him offensively. Over 100 RBIs last year, 26 home runs. And when that move happened for him, he hit .358 in September. 1-1. And that's tight. So Jepson, things getting a little hotter here for him in the ninth inning. Still just a 2-run game, but he's in some trouble.
Wanted to go for that high fastball. He's got the bases loaded. He wants to drive the ball, but he held back and took it. Mentioned earlier, the Tigers don't walk very much. One of the lowest walk rates in baseball.
(3-1). And it's a full count. 1 out here. And Jepson came up with the Angels in 2008. Actually became a Tampa Bay Ray in 15. He's pitched with the Twins. This is his first year with the Rangers. Big spot here, full count. Bases loaded, 1 out. And a bouncer, third base, just foul. That might be a good thing. You know, the one thing you're thinking, well, he got it on the ground. That's what you wanted. Maybe a chance for 2, but that was going to make for a real tough play. And Perez out there to have a word with Jepson. A good battle going here. Let's take a look at the runner at third base. That's Iglesias. Machado at second. And Candelario at first. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. 3-2. And a weak bouncer, shortstop. Profar in. He'll go to first. And they get the out at first.
That was a nice play by Ronald Guzman. He's shielded by the runner almost. Had to really concentrate. The ball looked like it came pretty close to hitting Castellanos when he ran by him. But good concentration. Only could get 1. Run scores. Profar on the run. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it's probably a good thing that Castellanos ducked, or it might have hit him. But look at Ronald Guzman with the footwork coming behind the bag toward foul territory. Concentrated and caught that ball. It was a nice play. Looked like a simple play, soft throw, but with a runner right in the way, it turned out to be a little bit harder than that.
RBI ground out for Castellanos makes it 7-4. First base empty now, and Victor Reyes came in as a pinch runner in the 8th inning. It's his first at bat of the night. It's been hard to come by for Reyes this year. This is his 17th game. Got his first big league hit about a month ago. The game at Cleveland. He made his big league debut the first day of April this year against the Pirates. And he's one of those guys, kind of like Carlos Tocci, for the Rangers, who is currently on the disabled list, but a Rule 5 draftee. 1-2 the count. Tigers took him from the Arizona Diamondbacks in the offseason of that Rule 5 draft. And when you select a player from another team in that draft, you have to keep him on your 25-man roster all year. Machado third, Candelario at second. The 1-2. And a bouncer, foul. We'll do it again. It felt like the Rangers were building a little momentum, scored a couple of runs in the bottom of the 8th. Gotten out of a jam in the top of the 8th inning. But this has been a long half of the 9th. And importantly, the Tigers added a pretty big insurance run. Now it's a 3-run lead. Jepson's 1-2.
Yeah, both Alex, Claudio, and Kevin have thrown a lot of pitches in their 1 inning. This will be pitch number 29 for Kevin. Alex was well over 20 himself.
Two and a bouncer. Second base, Kiner Falefa will throw out Reyes. The inning is done, but the Tigers pick up a big run. All right, last of the 9th coming. Kiner Falefa will start things off for the Rangers.
In the 9th inning, they trail 7-4 to the Tigers. Game 2 of a 3-game set. Rangers Live, presented by Fios by Frontier, coming your way immediately following the game. Me, John Radigan, Mark McLemore, Yvonne Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the performance of Mike Minor. You know, after the first stop, 2 innings, give up 3 and 2 in the 2nd inning, be able to check the Tigers lineup and did a great job.
Mac?
Well, I want to talk about Mr. AB coming back in and being a part of this offense, driving in a big run tonight.
Yeah, he is moving up some lists. We'll talk about that. It's all right after the game. Rangers Live, presented by Fios by Frontier, guys.
All right, sounds great, John. Thank you. Rangers need some base runners here at the bottom of the 9th inning. Shane Green came in to get the final out in the 8th. Has to do a little more work here, and he just dodged that one. A rocket up the middle by Kiner Falefa to start the 9th. Wow.
Well, in the 6th inning and the 8th inning, the Rangers scored 1, then they scored twice, threatening to have big innings. Couldn't get the big hit, maybe a big home run when they needed it, but here we have the leadoff hitter in the 9th inning on base. Turn the lineup over, get the other top of the order up, and who knows what can happen. Only a 3-run ball game.
Well, that's certainly a good start right there. So now the Condor, and he takes strike one. A pretty good Tuesday night crowd, and they stayed into it here. Saw an exciting one yesterday. Rangers doing most of the damage in the late innings, and on the appeal did not go. 1-1 to count on Guzman. Fans here hoping for a little more of that late inning magic tonight. Guzman shoots that one foul as well. He had a hit earlier tonight. Back in the third. He's 1 for 3.
Ryan Rua is in the on-deck circle. He'll hit for the catcher, Carlos Perez.
Well, Guzman does some of his better work late in the ball game, but he takes strike 3. Oh, a little frustrated with that one. That is the first out of the inning.
That was a nice pitch. Shane Green threw that little cut fastball, slider, whatever you want to call it. You'll see it spinning and breaking just enough to come right back and catch the inside corner, the outside corner. Backdoor slider. Tough pitch to hit. Ronald probably thought that was a little bit outside.
All right, here's Rua. As you mentioned, pinch hitting for Carlos Perez. Kind of Falefa off first base, and the first pitch from Green in there for a strike. Let's see Rua's numbers overall. Average at .203. Rua started the year as the everyday left fielder. 0-2 the count. He has since moved into more of a, I don't know, platoon off the bench kind of guy. Of course, the Rangers have had to exploit as much flexibility as possible with all the injuries they've suffered this year. But the weird thing is once Rua left the everyday role in left field, his numbers offensively really seem to improve. Bill Miller, plate umpire, asking the Tigers get their trainer out there to take a look at McCann. Or to take a look at him.
Too late in the game to have those things happen.
I disagree.
Never too late?
It should never happen.
Oh, that's true.
That should just never, ever happen.
I thought you were going to be cruel with your answer.
No. Wow. 0-2 to Rua. And he strikes out swinging. So 2 away. Well, there's some things I think the guy should never joke about. All right, Delano DeShields has had a good night at the plate. 2 hits so far tonight. He has scored 2 runs, and they need him desperately here just to keep this thing going.
Well, Delano's bounced back from his 0 for last night that broke a 10-game hitting streak. He's got his average now at 306.
Green starts him off with a strike.
Delano came into the game with an on-base percentage right at 350, which is pretty solid for a leadoff hitter.
Yeah, well ahead of league average. One strike pitch, and breaking ball finds a corner.
And for a guy like Delano at the leadoff spot, on-base percentage is what it's all about. Whether you can get on with a hit, a bunt, a walk, hit batter, whatever it takes to get on base, use your speed, and make things happen to score runs.
Well, the Rangers are down to their final strike in this one, trailing by 3.
Shane Green's thrown a lot of strikes. 15 out of 19 pitches have been strikes. Going for his 7th save.
Well, here's the 0-2. A swing and a miss, strike 3. The Rangers strike out 11 times tonight in the loss. 7-4 the final score. Green indeed gets the save tonight. His 7th, and he had to go an inning and a third to get it. Fires the winner, Minor the loser, and that evens the series at a game apiece with a rubber game tomorrow. So tough one tonight. 7-4 the final score, but still plenty more to talk about. John Radigan, Pudge Rodriguez, and Mark McLemore back in the studio, prepared to break it all down for you. For Tom Grieve, Emily Jones, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. More coverage of tonight's baseball game right after this.